Welcome to the Mortgage Broker Podcast, tailor-made for Canadian mortgage industry professionals. Proudly presented by A Better Way Mortgage Group, this podcast is your trusted source for insider insights, market updates, and strategies to elevate your career in the ever-evolving world of mortgage brokering. Whether you're a seasoned broker with A Better Way Mortgage Group or an industry enthusiast looking to stay ahead, our episodes are designed to empower you with the knowledge and tools you need to excel in the Canadian mortgage space. This kind of parlays into my next question in First National, which I don't think this is talked about enough these days. And it was such a big talking point when I came into the industry. This is way before, stress tests and all those things. But like First National and, the other monolines in our channel work exclusively with mortgage brokers. Like there's no retail branches, competing with us. We all know why that matters, but I'd love to just toss that around a bit. Like, why does that matter? And, how does it shape the culture of what you do at First National?
It's funny. Yeah, we've never been a direct consumer model. It's been talked about, don't get me wrong, because over the years, there are some others that have gone to that route. We've never wanted to do it because our success, how we've grown to where we are today, has been entirely based on the mortgage broker industry. So why change that? In the sense, we've done other things. As you know, we do third-party servicing. But for us to actually go directly to the clients, and that approach has never been something that we've been interested in, as long as I'm here anyway.
Yeah, it's funny. And I think that this is given the times that we're in right now with the rate competition and what's going on internally within our channel with, a couple different lenders and then the external competition, which we can't control. I think more now than ever, people need to start to recognize and remember the fact that lenders like First National are only in it for the broker channel, right? Like you're not competing with a different level of staff or employee with different, pricing. And I think that there's a lot of value for clients nowadays, given just, the world that we're in. The simplicity of dealing with a lender that only does mortgages, and they're not trying to get you to set up an account and move your mortgage payment and set up a line of credit and credit card just to get a bit of a better rate. I think that we need to frame that in our conversations, because some people, we think everyone wants the best rate, but some people just want simplicity. And I fall into that bucket 100%,
You're right. You're absolutely 100% right. Because did you see that post? There was a broker who put a post out recently saying that she had gone with one of the 5 major banks. The client, unfortunately, had a really tragic happening and they had to get out of the mortgage quickly. And the penalty was $54,000. I actually shared it with my team and say, hey, this is a great talking point, because I think, unfortunately, the fear is that the mortgage is just all about rate. And I think brokers have to pivot that conversation, because they're more than just the rate. I think a mortgage broker is more than just the rate. They're providing valuable information, guidance for someone who's purchasing probably one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives. And there's a lot of information that you have to pull from that client. What's your long-term plan? Are you just married? Are they going to have kids? Your career progression. There's so much involved in when you're having that conversation with your client other than the rate.
Couldn't agree more. And this whole AI wave right now is got a lot of people scared, a lot of people looking at things like, are we going to be replaced? And you think about relationships and trust building, that is really our role. And if anything, AI is only going to enhance that, because you're going to have more time to do that. And I think of the relationships that we have at First National as an example. We know who to call if something's going sideways, and something could be going sideways for 50 different reasons. There's so many variables in a mortgage transaction, and it's not repeatable. It's not a repeatable process every time. And that's really what AI relies on, is a repeatable, same cookie cutter process that it can automate. And that's just not the case with mortgages. There's emotion with the client. There's changes in the client situation, where divorce, a partner buyout in a business, somebody losing their job. There's so many different things that can go on that if you're not stick handling that, like a broker's role is to not just have those relationships and the trust, but to be able to stick handle the relationships and the trust on the back end with the lenders. So I just feel like now is such a good time to really double down on that human to human connection. And that goes for what are your human to human connections at the lender? Like, do you know who they are? Do you have a relationship with them? And do you speak to them like properly? Because, a lot of what we've seen in the last couple of months is just a lot of emotion from a broker to a lender perspective and not the nicest conversations happening. So it's like treat people with respect and you'll get respect back and you'll get that file, moved to the top of the pile, so to speak, if you're one of those trusted, broker resources.
You hit the nail on the head there, what a true partnership is. Because, are you dealing with a lender that you can pick up that phone if there's an issue and that there's a solution, not a decline. And that's really where the relationship and partnership comes into effect. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. And I do a lot of analogies when it comes to relationships, typically about dating or marriage. It's the second time this has happened. There was another lender they had to deal with. They called us. It was like they got the deal pulled 2 days. They needed to close in 2 days. We did it. So that was the first scenario. And then the second scenario, something similar with another lender, called us last minute. Hey, we need this. You got to help us out. Now we have a great relationship, but because of the rate wars, they've been going elsewhere. So after the second one, I said, a relationship is when you trust each other, but it's the second booty call. I call it booty calls, right?
That's true.
Right? You call me last minute, whatever. After the second one, this is not a true partnership anymore. We have to get back to that relationship piece where, I'm not your booty call.
I couldn't agree more.
I'm stealing that one.
Well, I also say for new brokers, I don't know if you've ever heard this, like, when you're starting with a brand new lender, you're a brand new broker. It's like dating. On the first date, you're not going to bring out the shit, right?
Yeah.
Everything is roses. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. But you're going to give your best deals initially, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually as the relationship goes, then you can, start giving the ones that need a little bit more work. It's the same thing. So I use those analogies a lot.
I love it. I think there's not enough emphasis on this. And I know some people are phenomenal at it, but like I look at brokering in general and there's so much emphasis on like the realtors and the referral partner and getting the deal in. And there's not enough on the lender relations. And at the end of the day, like you can bring in 100 deals, but if you don't have those relationships to push things through and massage and have a real conversation, like it's all worthless, right? Like we always put so much effort into that when we were brokering. And I can guarantee you probably 80-90% of the broker industry has not met their underwriters, right? Because like a lot of people stay at home and, like you look at different models, BRMs and all these things, it's like you should be proactive and take them out for lunch. Like don't wait for them to call you, right? It's $50. But that person, next time you reach out and the fact that they've gotten to know you and you took the time to go drive to their house or the restaurant near their house, it goes so far. Just as a takeaway for anyone listening to this, if you're not doing that, like think about that. We're midway through the year. Even an email to your top lenders to say, thank you so much for everything you've done for me this year. It goes a long way.
100% agree with you. We encourage, actually, we like to have brokers come into our office to meet the teams. We like to bring the underwriters. You have to. That's where majority of the conversations actually happen. Between your underwriter or your BDM, those two individuals, and it's supposed to be a team. And that's what we like. You can always call somebody if there's a problem and somebody is going to be there to help you to find a solution.
One thing I wanted to touch on is like for scale and context, you look at the model, it's exclusive with mortgage brokers, which we've talked about. But for the scale and context of that, like you're the largest non-bank lender, top 3 in the broker channel. That follows the same blueprint that we have within our brokerage. You're in our top 3 of lender partners. And just to paint that picture, That's pretty substantial given that, the other two top partners in our top three are banks that
Yeah.
that we have all sorts of, competition with and even within the broker channel now with the pricing that, we're not going to go too deep into that, but Deryk touched on the pricing conflicts and whatnot. It's pretty remarkable. And it just goes to show like how much effort you put into the relationships from the top down. And, we've talked about this a lot, like our best partners are the ones that we have the top-down support from. We know who to call, and it's not just a booty call. Like, we actually spend time to build those relationships because you spend time to build relationships with us. Like, a lot of it is you driving those connections. So I just want to touch on that because it's a substantial stat.
It's funny. I equate my sales team the same way as brokers. We're both trying to do the same thing, right? You guys are competing against the banks for your deals with the rates, and we're doing the same thing with the other competitors in this industry. But I think what you guys do very well, and we're very similar, we're trying to bring something more to the broker by providing educational, which you guys do very well too, doing webinars, doing something that brings some value to the brokers in their daily business. And I'm not talking just product dumps. I'm talking about, for example, one of my team members, and it's funny, I said, how did you get the mayor? They're doing a get together and the mayor of London's coming and the police officer. And I said, like, how did you get the mayor of London? Did you know somebody? And they said, no, we just called.
That's cool.
We just called them and they said that they were coming. But those are the things that, and he's going to talk about housing affordability in that specific region. But that's what you want to bring. Again, this part of the relationship. How can we help the broker to be more successful in their business? Not just by our products, which I think are fantastic, but also other parts of it that can help them grow, to educate them to be a better subject matter expert for their clients. Those are the things that you want to bring. And I think you guys do that very well too, because I see everything that you are also providing to your mortgage brokers constantly.
I'm actually really happy that the industry is starting to move more in this direction. And I think it's becoming harder and harder to get brokers to leave their houses and their families and their lives. So if they are going to, spend 3 hours outside of working or spending it with their kids, like there has to be some real value there.
Yeah.
Right. It can't just be a product dump and some drinks and stuff. And once in a while, that's fun. But, there's so much going on in our industry nowadays. There's so many events inside of brokerages, outside of brokerages. Like it really does have to be of value, I think, for people to spend that time and take that time. And I was just going to add one more thing on the back end of everything that you guys are doing to, stay top of mind and bring brokers in and educate them. When we talk to our brokers about First National, like the rationale as to why they continue to go back is consistency. It's consistency in underwriting. It's consistency in communication, consistency in conditions and process and the people, right? And I think that's one of the challenges that, there can be a lot of movement in our industry, people bouncing around from role to role. And I always say this, like, I think you kind of get one, maybe two shots with a broker if they're sending in a deal for the first time. If it's not a pretty slick process, they know there's 15 other lenders that probably have a similar rate and product that would love to try to bend over for them, right?
Thank you for tuning in. If you found value in this show, please subscribe to our channel on your preferred platform. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Your support is incredibly appreciated. We also welcome your reviews and feedback, which are crucial in helping us deliver outstanding educational content. Feel free to share your thoughts. A 5-star review would be fantastic if you think we earned it. Now, a message about something that means a great deal to us and to everyone at A Better Way Mortgage Group. City Reach Care Society is our chosen charity partner for 2026. For over 20 years, City Reach has been serving thousands of vulnerable individuals, children, and families across Greater Vancouver. They call themselves the Hope Business. When you see what they do, you'll understand why. Through their Food for Families program, City Reach provides fresh, nutritious groceries to over 4,500 people every single month. They partner with 54 schools across Vancouver, Surrey, and the Tri-Cities to make sure kids have access to food, hygiene supplies, and the support they need to thrive. Every August, their Back to School Blast puts backpacks filled with school supplies into the hands of 1,000 children heading back to the classroom. Here's what makes your support go even further. Every single dollar donated to City Reach translates into $10 worth of food for families in need. You can learn more, donate, or sign up to volunteer at cityreach.org. That's CITYREACH.org. Once again, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.